Welcome back. Today we're heading to Alexandria, Egypt, back in 2016. Picture this, a police station, and the air just crackles with, well, suspicion really. A 34-year-old man, Ibrahim, walks in.
Right, and he's there for something serious, reporting his mother missing. Haja Islah, 53 years old.
But here's the thing that immediately throws up a massive red flag for the officers taking the report.
It's the timeline, isn't it? It wasn't just that she was missing.
Yeah.
It was how long she'd apparently been missing before he reported it. A full 2 weeks.
14 days. Can you imagine?
It's staggering. And when they pushed him on why the delay, his explanation was stark.
He said their relationship was broken, had been for years.
Yeah.
Basically non-existent, he claimed.
And that he'd been searching for her himself first before, deciding to involve the police.
Now, that explanation, strained as it sounds, it immediately suggests a couple things to the investigators, right?
Definitely. Either this son is frankly negligent to an extreme degree, or maybe, just maybe, the victim herself lived a life that meant disappearing for 2 weeks could actually go unnoticed.
And that second possibility, that's the chilling part.
It really is, because even before they knew anything else, that lack of an immediate outcry, it told them something vital.
That the killer, assuming there was one, had a huge window.
A massive window of opportunity gifted to them. And the fact that the person who eventually noticed was this estranged son, it just hammered home how incredibly isolated Haja Islah must have been.
So Ibrahim takes the officers to his mother's apartment. And the scene right there outside the door, it just confirms everyone's worst fears.
The door's locked. Bolted, apparently, from the outside. Neighbors haven't seen her for a long time, they say.
But standing there on the landing, Ibrahim, the officers, they're hit by this overpowering sensation.
Oh, yeah. The smell. Heavy, foul, unmistakable, coming from inside the apartment.
That changes everything. No more waiting.
No, that stench means immediate action. They have to break down the door.
And what they find inside is confusing at first.
Yeah.
Almost contradictory.
It is. The apartment's sparsely furnished. It looks like she hadn't been there long, maybe just a few months. A lot of her stuff is still packed up in cardboard moving boxes.
But the smell, it isn't coming from the boxes, is it?
No, it pulls them deeper in, past the main living space, toward the back, near the bathroom.
And there it is, a large washing machine carton, sealed up.
Just sitting there, awkwardly placed, obviously trying to conceal something. They knew right then they'd found it. The source.
Opening that box? Well, that delivered the forensic shock.
Inside, wrapped heavily, multiple layers of plastic bags, then rolled up in a rug, the body of Haja Islah.
Already showing advanced decomposition.
Yeah, the initial assessment was grimly clear. She'd been dead a long time. And it wasn't peaceful. Visible signs of knife wounds, blows. Just brutal.
And the apartment itself told a story of incredible violence.
The forensic team starts mapping it all out. And the evidence paints this picture of absolute fury.
This wasn't some quick surprise attack. The sources actually call it a battle, not a simple murder.
You can see why. There's blood spatter on the living room table, traces of blood leading into the bedroom. She clearly fought back. Hard.
And the weapon.
They found it. A knife, covered in blood, just discarded in the bathroom. The sheer amount of blood scattered across different rooms, it confirms that fierce resistance.
But here's another layer. Amidst all this violence, this apparent battle, the killer also stopped to steal things.
Right. It's not just a frenzy. Drawers, closets, clearly ransacked, looking for valuables.
A television was taken, just ripped from the wall. You could still see the cut wires dangling there.
That detail, the cut wires, it speaks to either haste or maybe just sheer audacity, like they weren't worried about leaving clues.
Exactly. And this is where the investigation starts to pivot, isn't it? Away from just a random break-in gone wrong.
Definitely. Because remember, the apartment was locked securely from the outside.
No forced entry.
None. Which means the killer either had a key already or they stole Islah's key during the struggle.
So, someone she knew.
Had to be. It points towards a domestic situation, followed by a robbery to perhaps cover tracks or just for gain.
The initial scenario the police started putting together suggests this chilling calmness from the killer.
Yeah, like attack starts in the living room, the body gets moved, maybe to the bedroom first, and only later it's put into that washing machine box.
It suggests the killer felt incredibly confident, believed that because Islah lived such an isolated life, they had days, maybe even weeks, before anyone would even realize she was gone.
So their first logical step is relationships. Who was close to her? Or who had been close to her?
And they find something almost immediately. In a bag, left in the living room,
A customary marriage certificate, an earthy marriage.
bearing the name Medhat.
Instantly, he becomes the prime suspect, until they start digging into who Haja Islah actually was.
In this next part of the story, this is where our deep dive really begins. Because the background on Isla was apparently so unexpected, it shocked even her own son, Ibrahim. Let's start with her reputation.
Okay, so after Islah's first husband died, she was only 38. She began this very specific pattern. She started marrying younger men. Frequently.
But always using this customary marriage, the Urfi, not a formal civil marriage.
And there was a very calculated reason for that. It was specifically to protect her late husband's pension. A formal marriage would have cut off that income stream.
Wow, that's some serious strategic thinking. But it came at a huge personal price, didn't it?
Monumental. Her two sons grew up deeply ashamed of her lifestyle, the constant rotation of younger men.
And we learned something truly tragic. Ibrahim's brother had actually committed suicide just 2 years before this, reportedly because he couldn't handle the damage to the family's reputation from their mother's choices.
Which explains why Ibrahim had cut ties so completely. The stigma was intense, and it seemed she operated outside of it, but her sons couldn't escape it.
There's a sort of tragic symmetry there in their isolation.
There is. And Isla had these strict rules for her relationships, showing incredible control. She absolutely insisted that all meetings happen in her apartment. She wouldn't move in with anyone.
And she moved all the time.
Constantly. Every 4 months or so, apparently. Why? Because neighbors would complain about the stream of younger men coming and going, so she'd just pack up and move.
Controlling the venue, the terms, the type of marriage. But where did the power to do all that come from? The money.
Exactly. The money she had couldn't possibly be explained by just a widow's pension. It pointed to something else entirely, a hidden life.
And the truth the police uncovered was, well, it was stunning. Haja Islah was a professional beggar.
A tasawwul, or shahat, as it's known. Highly organized, very professional. She'd work this job daily, apparently earning quite a bit.
Then she'd change clothes, which explains those odd, shabby clothes found at the crime scene.
Right, and she'd return to her apartment to live her other life, the financially independent woman who controlled these younger men through her resources.
What a double life, built entirely on compartmentalization. Her independence, her control, moving constantly, it all stemmed from this secret, profitable profession.
She controlled the money, and that let her dictate the terms of these Urfi marriages.
So with this new understanding of the victim, the investigation circles back to Medhat, the name on that certificate.
Medhat's 26, works in a coffee shop. He confirms he'd only been married to Islah for about 2 months before she died. And pretty quickly, he's cleared.
But he gives them the next crucial piece of the puzzle.
He does. But before we get to that, let's jump back to the forensic team, because they dropped a couple of bombshells that completely changed the understanding of how she died and the timeline.
Okay, what did they find?
First, the final cause of death wasn't the stabbing or the blows. It was determined to be strangulation, suffocation.
After the head blow and the knife wounds.
Exactly. That sequence, blow, stab, then strangulation, it suggests the killer was absolutely determined to finish it, and maybe specifically to silence her screams.
But the timing detail was even more revealing, wasn't it? About when the body was put in the box.
That was the real shocker. The analysis indicated the body was placed in that carton at least 2 days after she died.
2 days.
Yeah.
That's not panic. That's planning.
Cold, calculated planning. It speaks volumes about the killer's mindset. Exceptional calmness, a degree of premeditation, certainly in the cover-up.
How could they tell?
Analysis of blood settling, lividity. It suggested the body had been lying flat on its back for a long time after death, probably in the bedroom, before the killer wrapped it and put it in the carton.
So they took their time, secured their escape first, then dealt with the body. Chilling.
And one more confusing piece from forensics. The knife. The one in the bathroom. It had 2 distinct blood types on it, not just Islah's.
2 types. So maybe the killer was wounded?
Possibly a defensive wound on the killer. Or maybe Islah got a cut on him. But strangely, the only fingerprints found on the knife handle itself belonged to Islah.
So maybe she grabbed it first, tried to defend herself.
It's a strong possibility. Adds to that picture of a fierce struggle. But while forensics is dealing with this complex physical evidence, the detectives get their next big lead from the human side. From Medhat.
Right, Medhat pointed them somewhere else.
He told them about Islah's previous husband, a guy named Reda, 28 years old, an upholsterer, a munged.
And Reda was still sometimes coming to the apartment.
Yeah, apparently to finish some upholstery work on her furniture. And Reda, well, he fit a certain profile.
What kind of profile?
He had a reputation, specifically for seeking out older women who would support him financially. It was apparently a pattern he'd learned from his older brother.
Okay, alarm bells are definitely ringing now.
You bet. Police go check Reda's workshop, which he shared with his brother. It's locked up tight. Both brothers are gone, missing.
Suspicion skyrockets.
Then they get a crucial tip. Confidential informant reports seeing Reda actually lurking around the neighborhood after the crime scene was discovered by police, checking things out.
Trying to see if the body had been found.
Yeah.
Exactly. It confirms their suspicion. He knew what happened. He was worried, but he still felt confident she bought himself enough time.
The net tightens fast after that, I assume.
Very fast. They track Reda and his brother down. They're hiding out in a relative's apartment.
And the arrest.
The moment Reda saw the police officers approaching him, he just confessed immediately, everything.
Wow. No denial, just confession.
Laid it all bare. And his confession really exposed the raw, transactional nature of his marriage to Islah.
He knew about her money from begging.
Oh, yeah. He married her knowing she had this secret wealth and knowing her habit of using money to control younger men. He saw her as an opportunity, a guaranteed income.
But it wasn't enough for him, was it?
Not even close. After just 1 month of this arrangement, Reda started demanding more. He wanted Islah to let him quit his upholstery job and join her begging business, share the profits.
But she refused.
Absolutely refused. That was her secret, her source of power. She wasn't sharing the secret of the profession, as he put it. Plus, her rules still stood. He lives with his parents, only visits when called.
Did he follow the rules?
Not at all. He ignored them. Started basically extorting money from her daily. Even had the nerve to charge her for the upholstery work he was doing in her own apartment.
So the relationship soured fast.
Very fast. Islah was getting tired of it, tired of the constant exploitation. She was planning to end things with him.
Which brings us to the day it all happened.
Reda shows up, supposedly to do more upholstery work. Islah goes into the bathroom for a moment.
And he immediately goes for her bag.
Looking for cigarette money, he claimed, but instead he finds something else.
The IRFI certificate for Medhat.
Bingo! And the rage that explodes in him. It wasn't jealousy, not heartbreak. It was purely financial.
He realized his meal ticket was ending.
Exactly. Medhat was going to replace him. His source of daily cash, his means of exploitation.
Right.
Gone.
So when Islah came out of the bathroom,
He confronted her, waving the certificate, and her response just poured gasoline on the fire.
what did she say?
According to Reda, she basically told him Medhat was younger, bothered her less, and was better than him. Ouch.
That must have pushed him over the edge.
Instantly. Islah apparently saw the look in his eyes. The gadar, he called it, the malicious intent. She knew she was in danger.
She screamed, tried to get him out.
Yeah, she screamed, tried to push him out of the apartment. He shoves her hard. She falls, hits her head on the salon table. That initial blow from the outline?
Stunned her, maybe.
Must have. But she scrambles up, desperate, runs to the kitchen.
And grabs the knife, the one they found later with her prints.
Right. She threatens him with it, trying to defend herself.
But Reda wasn't scared of the knife as much as...
Her screams, he was terrified the neighbors would hear. That was his main fear.
So he overpowers her.
Disarms her, stabs her in the abdomen, but she keeps screaming. So finally, to silence her, to end the struggle, he strangles her.
Silence her. Horrifying.
And the calculation kicks in immediately, the moment she's dead. Reda said he just sat there, next to her body, for 2 full hours.
2 hours? Doing what?
Planning. Meticulously planning the cover-up. He knew he couldn't do it alone. He needed help.
So he called his brother.
He called his brother, explained what happened, and the brother's advice was brutally practical.
What did he say?
Steal everything valuable, TV, gold, cash, and sell it immediately. Before the crime gets discovered and descriptions of the stolen items start circulating, get rid of it fast.
And the brother helped.
Without hesitation. Arrived 2 hours later, took all the stolen goods, went off, sold them, and came back with the cash for Reda.
Wow. Complicit immediately.
Totally. That same night, Reda moves Islah's body into the bedroom, lets it lie there. Then, the following day,
That's when he does the wrapping.
wraps it in the plastic and the rug, seals it inside that washing machine carton, and then just calmly walks out of the apartment.
Absolutely certain.
Utterly certain that because of her isolation, her estranged family, her secret life, nobody would notice. Nobody would investigate for weeks, maybe longer.
And he was almost right.
He was. His confidence held. He even went back to check the neighborhood days later, saw no police activity, felt safe.
Mhm.
until Ibrahim finally filed that missing person report, and the smell gave the whole thing away.
So Rita and his brother both arrested, both confessed, facing premeditated murder charges and assisting with the theft.
Yes. It's a case just steeped in this dark symmetry, isn't it?
It really is. You have Isla, defined by her secret profession, using her money to try and control younger men.
And then you have Reda, defined by his reputation for exploiting older women financially. Their compromised lives, their secrets, they collided directly over money.
And that calculation, that coldness, especially the 2-day delay before disposing of the body, it just underscores the premeditation involved in the cover-up.
Absolutely. This specific murder, this cover-up, it was only really possible because of Isla's unique lifestyle. Her secrecy, her deliberate cutting off of family ties, it gave the killer the time he needed.
And the certainty, the absolute certainty he could act without immediate consequence.
Precisely. Which leaves you with a really sobering thought, doesn't it?
It does. When you build a life centered on control and secrecy, deliberately isolating yourself from maybe accountability or even just connection, how much does that very isolation empower someone who wants to harm you? Something to think about.